Hello and welcome to Intro to Computer Games and Simulations here at Lorain County Community College. I am Mike Substelny, the professor this term, and we are in our very last time meeting together today. Today is a very exciting day. We are doing the final exam review, and all the students who are present here in the classroom are going to get to answer questions that will be on the final exam and a few questions that are just funny and fun that won't be on the final exam that involve computer games in some strange way. We're going to get started in just a moment. We'll make sure all the students have their response devices to register in. Because I don't have permission to show their names on television, we are going to be representing each student with a classic video game character today. Okay, let's begin today's competition and make sure all the equipment is working as we play the game of games. It is a game all about games. And question 0 for 100 points is a gimme just to make sure your response devices are working. Press 1 for 100 free points. And your choices are 1, give me 100 free points. No thanks, I don't want any free points. No thanks, I don't take handouts. Or I don't need no stinking free points. You had 10 seconds to respond. We have 9 responses so far. Some of you have not registered in, I think, because we have 11 clickers out there. Make sure a green light lights up when you press your button. And somebody said no thanks. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. Question 1 was the correct answer in this response. Response 1. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-way tie for first place. If you don't see your name up there, make sure you press the button hard and get a green response light on your device. I did test them all before coming here and they were working. All right, going on to the next question. Question 1, Attack of the Clones. Why do the authors of Game Design Workshop claim that many of today's games look and feel like carbon copies of each other? 1, many designers skip the physical prototype. 2, investors prefer games that are just like games they already love. 3, because game developers job jump. Or 4, because all the original game ideas have already been used. You have 10 seconds to respond. 5 responses, 7 responses, 8 responses, 9, 10. Here we go. That's more like it. 11 responses in. That's what I'm expecting. We have 11 students playing today. All right. We have a few said many designers skip the physical prototype. Most said investors prefer games just like the games they already love. The correct answer is the author said it is because they skipped the physical prototype. And so we have a 2-way tie for first now between Luigi and Lara Croft. All right, question 2, Catch as Catch Can. Which type of game offers players the objective of beating an opponent to a goal? Is it chase games, race games, forbidden act games, or exploration games? You have 10 seconds to respond. We have 8, 10, 11 responses in. You can change your answer till the timer runs out. 2, 1, time is up. You can grab a response device if you want to play, but you've missed 3 questions already. There's 1 left. Okay, most said it's race games for beating an opponent to a goal. The correct answer is race games. And so we still have a 2-way tie for first place. Question 3 is tension versus time. Identify what that picture represents, which has the graph of narrative time versus narrative tension. Is it the game design process, CGSD degree program, the classic dramatic arc, or the game profitability curve? You have 10 seconds to respond. 10 responses in, 11 responses in. We should have a 12th student available now. 12 responses now in. Time is up. Most said it is the classic dramatic arc, and most are correct. Very good. Yes, you will expect to see a question like that or exactly like that on the final exam. All right, let's talk about the Northeast Ohio game industry. There was a homework assignment that taught you a little bit about what's going on there. Where could you learn about the Cleveland Game Developers Meetup? Is it GameDevelopers.com, ClevelandGames.com, GameMeetings.com, or Meetup.com? You have 10 seconds to respond. Coming in a little slower this time. 4, 3, all the responses are in. You have no time to change your answers now. Most said clevelandgames.com. No one said meetup.com. The correct answer is meetup.com, where all the meetups take place. Apparently, you should review that homework assignment a little bit more. Okay, currently we have a one-way leader in first place. That is Laura. Okay, let's talk about some game industry news. Which website is dedicated to the news of the art and business of making games? Is it GameNews.com, GamaSutra.com, BigGame.com, or GameChronicle.com? You have 10 seconds to respond. We've had a number of articles we've read this semester from this website, and a permanent link. 2, 1, all responses are in. Most said it is GamaSutra.com, and most are right. GameNews.com is devoted to the lifestyle of gamers, and sometimes all the students say it's game news. But that's lifestyle, not business. Okay, question 6 is about Game Maker. Making multiple levels in Game Maker is as simple as making new sprites, new rooms, new screens, or multiple characters. You have 10 seconds to respond. 4, 3, 2, all the answers are in. Time is up. Most said new rooms, and most are correct. Good job. Look for that on the final exam, too. Making multiple levels in Game Maker is as simple as making new rooms. Those are exact words from page 58 of your textbook. Question 7, Game Maker movement. Talking about motion here, people. Suppose my Game Maker object is moving speed 6 to the right. This object moves 6 centimeters per second left to right, 6 pixels per minute left to right, 6 pixels per step from left to right, or 6 centimeters per step from right to left. You have 10 seconds to think about this one. 8 responses in, 9 responses in, 10 responses in. All responses are in. 2, 1, time is up. Most said it is 6 pixels per step from left to right, and most of you are correct. Good job. Question 8 is Sprite 0. Which of these describes the difference between an object and a sprite? Objects can't do collision detection. Objects just store pictures. Sprites cannot have actions, or only sprites can do collision detection. You have 10 seconds to respond. 10 answers in, 11 answers in, all answers are in. 2, 1, time is up. Most say sprites cannot have actions, and most are right. Good job. Let's look at question 9, drama. According to Game Design Workshop, what is the heart of any good drama? Is it conflict, action, resources, or sprites? You have 10 seconds to think about this. 4 responses in, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 2. All right, the last response is in. Time is up. Most say that conflict is the heart of any good drama, and most are correct. We now have a 3-way tie for first place between Frida, Nico, and Laura. Wow, all the characters have a last name. All right, question 10, the game designer's role. Which of these describes the foremost role of a game designer? A game designer is a playtester. A game designer is an advocate for the player. A game designer creates the games that he or she would like to play. Or a game designer makes sure the art, game engine, and budget are all on track. You have 10 seconds to respond. Responses are coming in quickly and then stopped. 2 of you haven't responded. All right, all responses in. 2, 1, 0. Time is up. Most say a game designer is an advocate for the player, and most remember that this was said very clearly on the very first day of class. Good job. The meaning of life. You design a Lazarus to give each player 3 lives, and they can win a bonus life. In this case, lives would be an example of what? Scarce resources to manage, units for the player to deploy, procedures to control the game, or dilemmas to resolve. You have 10 seconds to respond. 8, 9 responses, 10, 11 responses, 12 responses in, 2, 1, 0, time's up. Most say it is scarce resources to manage, but that's only a little more than half of you said that, but a little more than half of you are correct. All right, question 12, famous game designers. We had a homework a question about this too. Which famous game designer designed Spore? Some of you probably knew this before even taking this class. Is it Trent Oster, Warren Spector, Gary Gygax, or Will Wright? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Wow! It's a tie between Gary Gygax and Will Wright. Well, Will Wright is the correct answer. Gary Gygax actually designed Dungeons and Dragons. He didn't design computer games at all. But he is very famous. Okay, games and money. Question number 13. Which game won Spike TV's Game of the Year for 2013? Was it Tomb Raider, Super Mario 3D World, BioShock Infinite, or Grand Theft Auto 5? Those of you following the industry probably know this acclaimed game. 9 responses in, 10 responses in, 1 person has just in the very last second, the last response came in. Most say it is Grand Theft Auto 5, and most are correct. Good job. I tried to make this so fast that you couldn't have Googled for the answer, but maybe you did. All right. Currently, Frida is in first place with Nico, Mario, Lara, and Cloud Strife hot on her heels. Question 14, the lost dramatic arc. Where is the climax of a classic dramatic arc? Is it just before the protagonist dies, narrative tension's highest point, just before the antagonist dies, or at the end of the exposition phase? You have 8 seconds to respond now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Somebody hasn't responded. Just made it in the very last half second. Most say it is at narrative tension's highest point, and most are correct. Well done. Okay, question 15 is about carpal tunnel syndrome, the lecture we had 2 weeks ago. Which of these is a common symptom of carpal tunnel syndrome? Is it rapid weight gain, occasional bleeding from the ears, pain, tingling, and numbness in the fingers, or nausea and vomiting? You have 8 seconds to respond. All responses are in. Plenty of time left to change your mind. And time is up. Everyone said it is pain, tingling, and numbness in the fingers, and everyone is correct. You learned your lesson there. I'm proud of you. Okay, Frida is still in the lead. Question 16, game design terminology. In Lazarus, the player hops left and right by pressing the left arrow. This is an example of what? A procedure, a boundary, a room, or a dramatic element. You have 8 seconds to respond. 12 responses in, 3 seconds to change your mind. 1 second, time is up. Everyone said it is a procedure, and everyone is right. Good job. That will be on the final. All right, let's talk about game maker programming. Where is the origin of this 80 by 80 sprite? Is it in the upper left corner, the lower left corner, the center, or the lower right corner? You have 8 seconds to dash forward and look closely at the screen, unless you can tell from where you're sitting. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Wow, answers are all over the place, but most say center. And center is the correct answer. You can see here, in this 80 by 80 sprite, the origin is at 4040, and this little cross here is pointing to the very center of that square, which is the origin. Frida is still out in the lead, but it's about to get exciting. Player interaction patterns. In which player interaction pattern do 3 or more players compete against each other, as in poker? Is it single player versus game, multilateral competition, multiple individuals versus game, or cooperative play? You have 8 seconds to think about it. 9 responses in, 10 responses in, 11, 12. 2 seconds to change your mind. 1, 0. Time's up. Wow, most say multilateral competition, and multilateral competition is correct. That is the player interaction pattern for poker. All right. Question 19. I love this question. This is a funny question. It will not be on the final exam, but In Madden 06, which linebacker was accidentally depicted as being just 7 inches tall? Was it Lance Biggs of the Chicago Bears, Vinny Searsu of the Detroit Lions, A.J. Hawk of the Green Bay Packers, or Michael King of the New York Jets? You have 8 seconds to think about this, and there is now a historic follow-up to this question. 2, 1, time is up. Wow, answers are all over the place. Most, though, say A.J. Hawk. The correct answer is Michael King of the New York Jets. You're about to see a hilarious, hilarious picture. That is Michael King before the bug fix in that little red circle. He hit like a freight train, but he was just 7 inches tall, and that game was actually released into the wild. And it's so funny that they've actually got, they've intentionally released a version this year with a miniaturized player, if anybody's aware of that. Okay, leaderboard. Frida is still in the lead by just 100 points. And now, we're starting with 200-point questions. Double the point values. Question 20 is finding the fun. What is the best process for finding out what is fun and not fun about a game? Is it reducing procedures to 7 or fewer, counting the objects, physical prototyping, or play testing? You have 6 seconds to respond now. 6. All responses in. Time's up. Most said play testing, and play testing is the correct answer. Good job. Laura is still in the lead by just 100 points. Next 200-point question, you can't lose. If players discover a dominant strategy that allows them to always win your game, it is a sign that the game is not functional, the game has no flow, the game is not complete, the game has no sub-goals. This is a vocabulary question. You have 6 seconds to respond. 5 responses in, 6, 7, 9 responses, 12 responses in at the very last second. Most say the game is not functional. Some say the game is not complete. The game is not complete is the correct answer in the chapter about functionality, completeness, and balance. So now you know that one for the final exam. Lara Croft still in the lead by 100 points. The nature of time. In the clicker game that you're playing right now, time is what? A procedure for accessing the game. A limited resource adding drama. Unlimited, or time is meaningless. You have 6 seconds to decide. All responses in. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Most say it is a limited resource adding drama. And most of you are right. Good job. Lara Croft is still hanging out in the lead now. Lara Croft has taken the lead, I mean. But where's the conflict? In the clicker game you're playing right now, what is the source of conflict? Or the other players, the timer, the clickers, or the conflict is within myself. You have 6 seconds to respond. 10, 11 responses, 12 responses just made it in. Most say the other players, some say the timer, somebody says the conflict is within myself. The correct answer is the other players. Whoever said the conflict is within yourself, there may be more than this class can do for you. All right, timer provides tension, not conflict. If your own self is providing the conflict, good luck. Laura and Frida and Nico and Cloud Strife battling it out there at the top. A question of access. In the clicker game you're playing right now, by what procedures do players access the game? Is it reading questions, reading leaderboards, thinking, or pressing clicker buttons? You have 6 seconds to respond. 3, 2, 1. Just made it with 12 responses. Pressing the clicker buttons is by far the most popular answer, and it is the most correct answer. Good job. Lara Croft is still up there. The play's the thing. Now we're at 300-point questions. While playing the clicker game, you experience which of these dramatic elements? Time pressure, characters, story, or plot. 6 seconds to respond. 12 responses in. Time is up. Everyone said time pressure, and everyone is right. Well done. Lara Croft's still in the lead. You are not so smart. The You Are Not So Smart article that we read this term said the lasting appeal of games like Farm Bill is due to the sunk cost fallacy, rising tension over time, the game learning curve, or the magic circle. Hard question for 300 points. You have 6 seconds to respond. 2, 1, 0. Time is up. Wow, answers are all over the place. This is going to be a dividing question. Correct answer is the sunk cost fallacy for 300 points. Lara Croft is still in the lead with Frida in second place.
Who is Lara?
All right, here is the final question of the game, everyone. Pay close attention because this one is 500 points. In object-oriented programming, which we talked about last week, what is the relationship between an object and its class? Is it that objects inherit structures from classes? Classes inherit structures from objects? Classes inherit objects from methods? Or none, because classes are not objects? You have 6 seconds to answer this difficult 500-point question. 12 responses in. No time left. Here it is. Most say objects inherit structures from classes. Most are correct for 500 points. And the final scoreboard says Lara Croft is the winner, followed by Frida, Cloud Strike, Duke Nukem, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's see, I think we've got, all right, if we could bring the camera back to, or go back to the camera now from the leaderboard. All right, this is me. I have Lara, Frida, Cloud, Duke, and Sonic. Lara, come first and select a prize from this package. Well done. You see, we use tension, rewards, things like that. All right, Frida, you're next. Frida the bride, please come down and select your prize. You will not be on camera. The camera's on me right now. Frida, come on down and choose. Nobody wants to admit to being Frida.
I think Frida was a computer.
We had to eat the drink. It's not up there at all. John Marston's not up there either.
Ah, okay. Huh.
Yeah, mine's cheap from out there.
All right, well, we'll figure that out in a minute then. Okay, then we'll distribute these prizes off camera. That's it. This is the end of the term. It's been a pleasure having you in class. I hope you go on to get the computer games and simulations degree. Whatever you do, good luck in the future. And this is Mike Substelny here at Lorain County Community College signing off for the end of the term. Goodbye.